Okay. I don't see us.
I need to do this right here.
Okay, let me see. Hello.
Got it. Yay, it's working.
Yay.
Okay,
Hi, everyone.
Guys. Hey, everyone.
Yeah, long time no see. We're here.
Yeah.
We made it on Black Time. Because that's how we do it on Black Time. I was the one like, hey, we're going to be on time this time.
I tried. In my defense, I did try, but we haven't live streamed in how long? And
it's been a long time. I disappeared on people, like, for real. Went MIA. You're present. They get to see you. They get to hear you.
Yeah. So it took me a minute to figure it back out, but I got it. We're good. So we're on.
We're here.
Yes. So basically, I'm gonna wait for people to join before I really start getting into stuff. I'm hoping that what I can do, if I've used this software before and I've been able to do this thing where I can like switch the screen. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk and then I'm going to switch my screen to a mess to like basically evidence. And then we're going to go from there. So I'm going to get on here. And
Rachel,
yes, ma'am.
Don't you mess up. don't you mess it up.
Anything that I say, like if anybody has any questions, they can contact me. They can contact my moderators who have actually known about this stuff for a while. So this is not new news to them. They've all known about it. In fact, there's a lot of people that have known.
Hold on. Taylor has never helped me with anything. I don't know her. She don't know me. She's never helped me with puppies ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just to clear that up. That's just Nicole. It's not your fault, girl. You didn't know.
Yeah.
She lives halfway across the country.
Let us search. All right. So, okay. So yeah, you're just gonna have to bear with me because this is the thing, right? Is that ultimately, it's always difficult to sort through other people's mess, particularly when it went on so long without there actually being an issue. So there's a lot to sort through, but anyway, I'm going to turn off my phone because I know how people are. So we're just going to do that. That's right. Slow mode. Okay. You're right. You know what? What I will do is I will silence my phone. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Ooh, Reese, Savannah told me how to do this.
Oh, Lord.
Savannah! How do I slow the chat? So after I've started a stream, I can't do anything about it? Sorry. Savannah didn't let me know I needed to do anything, unfortunately, and I don't think that there's anything Maybe, hold on. There is a live control room. Let's see if I can edit it. There's a control room. This gives everybody time to get here. Come hither. Okay. Stream health is excellent. Participants toggle timestamps. I don't think that is anything of relevance.
Thank you guys for the hair compliments. Thank you.
Yeah, her hair is fantastic, y'all. I love how she can always do stuff with her hair.
Yeah, it's like I like color.
Fantastic.
Okay. I'm gonna let you just lead it. I'm just gonna
found it.
Okay,
found
good.
it.
You just, girl, you take the lead.
Boom, 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 boom. Slow mode. Done. Sorry, you guys. It's about to slow you guys down.
I'm happy. Oh, you slowed them down. Okay.
Like, that's the only way you can do it. Like, that's just what it is. Slow mode is on. You can send a message every minute.
You could do that.
Yeah, I think we want it that way so that so that things get seen. I think that's important. Okay.
Didn't know we could do
that. Yeah. Okay. So now that I've done that, I can exit out of this. I'm drinking coffee.
Everyone knows what I'm drinking.
What are you drinking?
Girl,
Red Bull.
Yes. Yes, it's an addiction. It's a bad one. It's so bad.
Yeah. I wonder if my moderators, are you guys willing to help me? As I'm talking about things that are going on, can you guys send me the screenshot that goes with what I am speaking about? Is it possible? It would be a lot easier for me to stay on track if I'm not constantly trying to figure out what I've sent. Is it possible? Am I asking too much? Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, C Major. Okay. So, I'll help. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, so
we're at 4:36 now, so we can go.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so basically what happened is that I had a girl that met me at whenever Kashmir had her her last litter, and she had to go to the emergency hospital. And I met this girl named Taylor, and at the time she was very helpful. She was very nice, and she ended up purchasing a puppy from me out of that litter. She had second pick male, and the reason why we're talking about this is because she has made it her mission to slander, libel, and defame me, my character, Reese's character, my dogs. Like, she's just decided to go above and beyond to attempt to destroy me and my reputation. She's went on every group that she can get on Facebook. She contacted other breeders. When that didn't work, she started contacting my buyers. She started contacting people my followers on Instagram, moderators of mine on my channel who she knew that were close to me. And then when that all didn't work, she reached out to another YouTuber, Jason Corey, who I have now spoken to. And so, I don't know if he's going to be watching this or not, but he was open to hearing. I don't know that he spoke with Taylor, but he did say that people have talked to him and said negative things about me to him. And so I just let him know. I was like, look, I'm going to be it's gone far enough. At this point, I'm going to respond. The reason why I didn't respond originally is because of the fact that I I had considered Taylor a friend. And the last thing that I would ever do to somebody who I considered a friend is to put out personal drama from us out onto the internet. Like I wouldn't, nor have I ever went and tried to just completely destroy an old, like a friend who I'm no longer friends with life online. That's not something I've done. I've had business relationships not work out, and I've spoken about those. But as far as private friendships, that's not something that I would do, because I personally don't consider that to be the behavior of somebody that was a friend. Because oftentimes, even whenever friendships break down, there's still like, it's like you may not want to know that person anymore or whatever, but most people wouldn't necessarily want ill will on that person. There's typically something that caused you guys to be friends in the first place that is usually respected. And so, and on top of that, Taylor is much younger than I, and she doesn't have an audience. And so it wasn't really a fair fight, if that makes sense. Like it's like, to some degree, I have to be somewhat tolerant of that kind of stuff, because if I reach out and say something, if I behave in the same way, the repercussions of that are different than when she does it. And I was willing to just let it go. And I talked with I talked to a bunch of people, and we all just kind of decided, look, she's young, she's got bad judgment, she's clearly going through a lot, so her emotions are out of whack, and maybe we'll just ignore it. And so for a while I did. And I think that what happened is that she thought that me ignoring her was me being afraid to speak up about the truth about what happened, and that I was afraid of her and the truth. And so it empowered her to continue and to actually push and spread these lies, and actually even go further into really getting out of control with her lies, and it getting a little, in fact, some people contacted me, were like, hey, I don't know what's going on with her. Her story is changing, but to just stay out of it. But like I said, today was kind of a last straw for me. Whenever she tried to involve another YouTuber, I just decided, you know what? I think it's time to put an end to this. So there's the reason why I have to go back is because Taylor is really making multiple accusations, and I want to go ahead and just get them all out as in chronological order. So back to the story. Taylor bought, she had second pick male, and she chose the runt out of the litter. She chose the smallest male that there was, a Formentino male. She spent a lot of time with the dog, so I'm not going to sit here and say that she chose on color, but she did choose the runt. And she had the dog, everything was fine. And then one day she invited me, along with another puppy buyer of mine, invited me to the dog park. And I went and I saw her dog. And I could tell by the way that he was moving that he was dysplastic. I could tell he was limping. It was obvious the dog was dysplastic. So I went ahead and I let her know, hey, I think that your dog is dysplastic. I would like you to get an x-ray to confirm that. She got an x-ray. She confirmed it. And she thanked me for telling her. She was thankful that the vet even, or she said that the vet was surprised that I was even able to see it. And I replaced that dog with another dog. So my contract does not require that you give me back the dog. Okay. I simply will provide you with another dog that you're happy with. And that was done in this case. The issue that Taylor has with this situation, that she's claiming she has, is that I asked her not to go around talking about it, because Taylor is a very active person on social media. And I know that I have a lot of haters that will take normal things that a breeder will do and basically manipulate people that don't really know better into thinking that they are irregular things that's happening. So if I produce one dysplastic dog, which so far that's what I've produced out of Preacher and Cashmere, if I produce one dysplastic dog, it will suddenly get blown out into Rachel produces dysplastic dogs. Don't buy from Rachel. Don't buy from Rachel. And if there's any shred of truth to that they can point to, then they're going to use that at every given opportunity to try to defame me and my program. And so I've learned that in some ways I do need to try to protect myself when possible. Not because I think that there's anything wrong with producing a dysplastic dog. I've told you guys I could produce a dysplastic dog. I've never said I couldn't. I've never said that I wouldn't produce any health issue. I've always been clear about that. And whenever I've rehomed dogs for issues like that, I've always talked about the fact that it's very common, and that I've talked about the studies involving hip dysplasia, that the rates of normal of within in any breeding program, no matter how good you are, you will produce dysplastic dogs. That's just the way genetic works. So for me, it's not that big of a deal, but admitting it and then having all of these people run with it and twist it into something that it's not is the problem. And I've been trying to kind of protect myself from some of this, because at a certain point, Reese and I talked about it, I can't complain when people are saying all these horrible things about me if I'm the one telling them all these things. Do you see what I'm saying? So I started to just be quiet about some things. And I did ask her not to speak about it. And at the time, she was perfectly fine with it. And there is a message that corresponds with that. If you could send that to me, Nicole, that would be great. Basically the one where she talks about how she knows that people on the internet are crazy, and that she wishes that she could talk about it. Let me see here. I think, let me see here. Yeah, here's part of it. Yeah, here's part of it. Let me see if I want to make sure I can switch this. So, add or invite feeds, and we're going to do share your screen. Boom. Entire screen. Chrome tab, Messenger, share.
Alrighty, let's see if it does it.
Okay. So now let's move it into my spot. There it is. Okay, so, but it's not showing the whole thing, which is, I wonder if I can switch the layout. Is it possible? Yes. Okay. But I'm going to switch it the other way. Nope. There. And then, but I'm going to do this one here instead. How do I switch it? Hold on. I'm going to do a little shenanigery real quick. And then I'm going to move this. Okay. And then I'm going to do this here. Okay, good. Okay. Dadgummit, sorry. Whoops. Okay. I truly appreciate all your support and just feel being so on it and just for being so honest with me. I wish I could share what a positive experience this has been, but I know people will twist it up and make it something it's not. Such a bummer. People have to focus on the negative instead of making the best out of the hands that you are dealt. So that was part of it. And then let's see here. There's another one, Nicole. No, not that one. I'm looking for the one where she talks about
So, Rachel, are you trying to pull this up on the screen, or what?
It is on the screen.
No, honey, it's not.
What?
Okay, we got it. Red Bull break. All right. Rachel, where are you? Can you guys hear me? Now she done disappeared. I don't know what's going on. All right.
Okay, sorry. I just had to. You'll have to kind of work with me on this because I can't. Maybe I can. Let's
Okay,
try
so
this.
Rachel,
Hold on. I'm gonna try. Wait a minute. I'm gonna try something
we
else.
can't hear you when it goes on the screen, okay? Just
I know.
FYI.
I know. Yeah,
Okay.
I know. Because it's not.
Okay.
I think I've got it. Give me a second. I think I'm gonna.
No.
No. Why
Oh.
won't it work? It's just like it's so big that I got it. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm so sorry, you guys. This is like. I mean.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, I wish that there was a way to make it like transparent.
Okay, there we go. Look at that.
I'm trying.
Is
you
it
guys.
popping? She's trying.
It's just like
there
it's so hard to do this because the pictures are like not the right size. You know what I mean?
Okay, here we go. Bam. Evidence number 1.
Yeah. All
I
right.
truly appreciate all your support and for just being honest with me. I wish I could share what a positive experience this has been, but I know people will twist it up and make it everything it's not. Such a bummer people have to focus on the negative instead of making the best of the hand you are dealt. Okay, there we go. Evidence number 1. Okay.
Okay, so let me see here. I'm going to try to find...
No, it ain't really evidence, but it's evidence that she felt like Rachel had her back.
Hold on. I'm trying to find the one where... Here we go. Okay, boom. All right. So here is... Alrighty. I'm going to share this with myself. And hopefully this works.
So these are messages shared between Rachel and Messy Taylor. We can call her Messy Taylor because she's messy.
Okay, so now we're going to do that. Right. And then we're going to do, I guess you guys are going to get to see.
We're not talking about any Taylor. We talk about messy
okay,
Taylor.
So how does that look? Can you see it?
Okay.
Is that readable? Can you read it?
No, it's not. It's not readable. That is not readable.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being crystal clear about that. let me go ahead and make that readable real quick, you guys. It is definitely not readable according to Reese. Go ahead and
you have to have like magnifying glasses on to see that.
Fix that real
quick.
Good
God. She is trying to strain our eyes. Good God.
You guys, this is so hard. And I'm already like here we go. Okay. All right. This is just like so. Here we go. Boom. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Now let's share. Okay. Just you. All right. There it is. Let's get it.
You know, we can't do a live stream and I don't act up. Everybody knows I act up.
Come on. Okay. So there's that. So now let's share it again. Add share your screen. We're going to share a window, a Chrome tab, and we're going to do Messenger, and we're going to share. Boom. Correct. And we're going to put that right there, and then we're going to... I hate that. You guys, okay, look. I'm just going to disappear while the picture is up. That's the only way to show the whole picture, okay? So I will be back. Don't worry. I'm not going to be gone long. Let me fix this. Let me that goes there. Reese goes there. And that works.
She just puts me wherever she wants. Okay. Oh. You let me know if you want me to read it and add the drama to it or just let y'all read it. Okay. Hey, I just sat down with the surgeon today, and he says Capone looks great. He definitely noticed the gait or abnormalities, but so far as pain and clinical symptoms, he is super impressed that you picked upon it so quickly because of the age and the fact that its growth plates aren't even almost closed. He preferred to hold off on surgery until he's at least a year. If at a year he is clinical and painful, we will proceed with surgery. Best case scenario, we can hold off until growth plates are completely closed to guarantee the hardware won't need to be replaced because he outgrew it. All right. So, okay, like the dog is dysplastic. We know he's dysplastic. Rachel, is going to
Right.
replace the dog. All right.
Right.
All right.
Right. Right. So like I said, not only am I the kind of breeder that will replace a dog per my contract as I'm
Yeah.
required, I let her know. I volunteered the information. And I don't know of a maybe there are other breeders who do that, but that's the level of honesty that we're dealing with here. So the replacement dog that I give her was Voodoo. Those of you may remember the replacement I got for War Admiral. And so I gave her Voodoo. She was happy with the dog. As you guys know, she's posted about the dog everywhere. And so everything seemed fine. She's claiming, like I said, in other messages that people have posted that she didn't like. In fact, she claimed it on Jason Corey's channel today that she didn't like the fact that she had to remain silent. Yet the first text message that I just showed you guys shows that she didn't actually feel that way originally. She totally understood it and was completely fine with it. And like, was well aware and understood why I would do that. Fast forward to, and let me know if I'm wrong on this, fast forward to my puppies getting sick. I did not want people to know what my puppies had. For the same reason, I didn't want people to know that I produced a dog with dysplasia. My puppies had parvo, which many people knew. And at the time, I had lots of stuff going through my mind. I was in shock, first of all. In all my years of having dogs, I've not ever even seen parvo. It was traumatic and terrifying because there's so much misinformation about parvo online. And what I realized was that just as a breeder, as a buyer, everybody knows, there's a certain stigma associated with parvo. And it's not like I went out and gave my dogs parvo. They got it. And in fact, if you were to research this, parvo was literally at over 70% higher than normal during the last year. And even this year, it's really super high. In fact, what they found is that there's a new variant of parvo going around right now. So that's probably why. I don't know. But the point is that I made a decision that I wanted to keep that private. And I couldn't keep the fact that my puppies were private because obviously you guys would have asked, where are the puppies at? You know what I mean? Like I can't just disappear a whole litter of puppies and just be like, nothing to see here, folks. I had to talk about it, but I didn't want to give these people the ultimate ammunition to take me down with. Right or wrong, I knew that they already hate me. They already spend almost every waking moment of their time online trying to destroy my reputation and talk people out of.
And when it comes to Rachel, even if it's like, I remember one time on her channel, she admitted that she had Giardia. Like it happened, you know what I mean? And it happens to all of us. When you have multiple dogs and you have like viruses or Giardia is not really a virus, but it goes around. Most breeders have dealt with it once in their programs. And so she admitted that, and it went off on social media. It went completely off. like, no, like she was dirty and she
Right.
doesn't take care of this and that, like all these lies. And that's misinformation in itself. You don't have to be
Right.
dirty to get giardia, just like you don't have to be dirty to get bed bugs, you know, like you
Right.
can be in a 5-star hotel and be the cleanest person in the world, the area be clean and get bed bugs. So they bully her, they pick on her, they slander her. So the rules apply differently when it's Rachel. So go ahead.
So
They're
so
applied differently.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So exactly. So I
I
thought like it's one thing whenever they say these things, but I can disprove it and I can defend myself or whatever. It's another when it's true. Yes, I had parvo. And how do I defend myself from that? You see what I'm saying? Like there isn't any. It is what it is. And another big part of it was that I at the time, I've never been through something that traumatic. You have to understand these puppies were older and they're dying in front of me. And the messed up thing is that Taylor was there for that. Taylor, I hit the ground on my knees, like bawling my eyes out, sobbing, like couldn't even talk as I had a puppy die in front of me while I was on the phone with Taylor. And it is just horrific. I didn't even film it. Like I can't even describe to you the way that the sound, like when the people say that they have a death cry, that people have a death cry, that's very real. And it is like the most soul-wrenching experience that you can go through. And with everything that I was going through, I just couldn't take more crap. And I knew what would happen if I said it. They immediately would, oh, she finally got what she deserved. Her whole litter's dying, that greedy woman, blah, 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 blah. And like, I emotionally could not take it at that time. Like, even now, the only thing that consoles me is the idea that somehow these people will be burning in hell for eternity. Because I just can't fathom the kind of human being that can still have anger towards somebody who's suffering like that. Like, I will never understand the kind of human that's capable of that. So I decided that I wanted that to be private. And I didn't talk about that. And at the time, it didn't matter because to me and everyone I've talked to about this, what does it matter? I told people that my puppies died from a virus, and my puppies did die from a virus. The name is a simple issue of semantics. And it really, the only person that information affects is me. The viewer, you gain nothing and lose nothing from knowing that it's parvo. I'm the only one with something to lose from everyone knowing that it's parvo. And I am a single mother. I already have enough people coming after me just from the Corso world. And I decided that I had to do something to help try to protect myself. And Taylor knew that. And she agreed with that. Obviously, because she was quiet about it for a very, very long time. She was perfectly fine with it. Everyone that knew me was fine with it. A lot of people knew where Taylor is trying to twist this into something it's not, and where the Corso community is trying to twist this into something it's not, is in reference to the GoFundMe that I got. They are accusing me of starting that GoFundMe and frauding people by basically not saying that it was parvo that killed my litter instead of another virus, which personally, in my opinion, is pretty crazy. I think the idea that I would have gotten less donations if people knew that it was parvo is I don't think that would in any way be backed by fact. Having said that, I did not start the GoFundMe. I didn't even know that the GoFundMe was started until it was already on.
Post that. I want them to see the message that the women sent you who started the GoFundMe. Because I think it's important that we see it. And also, what really infuriates
I only
me
have
about
I only have the one from Terry.
Is not only does Taylor twist the story, but she also tries to impose that she knows what Rachel felt and what type of person she was at the time that her puppies were passing for parvo. She said on social media that Rachel did not care and was being cheap, which there's no part of this that was cheap, and that Rachel like wanted them to go home one by one to die and just didn't care at all. And that's far from the truth. No one would invest thousands of dollars of their own dollars if they didn't care.
Because that's the thing. The money had already been spent. Yeah. When the GoFundMe was up, greedy, I was already 13,000 in the hole.
If you were greedy, you would have put the entire litter down and you would have just moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't. You sought treatment out for your litter. And so Taylor,
so this right here is the message. And by the time that the GoFundMe was started, I only had 4 puppies left. I only had 4 that were alive. Excuse me. I may have to disappear again. Sorry, but... All right, let's do that. Fortunately, yeah, there's nothing I can do about that.
Okay. So this is the message that Terry and Melissa sent to Rachel to let her know that they started a GoFundMe. I appreciate. They said, "Don't be mad at us. We love and support you." And then Rachel says, "I appreciate it. I lost 2 boys, one last night and one this morning. Oh my God, Rachel, we are here for you. We are so very sorry. How many are alive?" She said 4 left. So at this point, Rachel had, I think she had a couple of puppies in an emergency vet. And then the rest she worked out with the local vet who told her that he could treat the litter and to bring them in as they were showing symptoms. And so she would bring them in as they showed symptoms. And then this vet would, so the vet would, as they improved and he thought they were out of the rough parts and they were improved and better, he would send them home. But
Savannah,
then
can you come check on these puppies?
In the evening and pass away.
Right. And so anyway, so I didn't start
your puppies, being at the vet. So
right.
They need to know that your puppies were being treated.
Yes, and they were, they were. And I actually have proof. In fact, I have proof that there's so much. Like I said, there's so much that was said. But I even have text messages from Taylor saying that my vet like basically killed my puppies. But this is the thing: is that I didn't start the GoFundMe. And when I spoke with my mentors about it, nobody felt that it was necessary for me to say that it was parvo, because people were donating because of what I was going through, because of the money that I had spent, and because the fact that the puppies were dying. They didn't donate because it wasn't parvo. So that's what I think my haters and Taylor is failing to realize, is that everyone that I've talked to, nobody cared that the puppies died of something else other than parvo. In fact, many people have felt that this is extremely petty and very hurtful to do to somebody that went through something like that, because it's not like I didn't go through that. All I'm guilty of is trying to save myself just a little bit more pain at the time. That's it. You know what I mean? And I didn't even make back everything that I spent on the dogs. So what ends up happening is that Taylor had offered to take some of the puppies that I had left. She offered to take them when I was literally out of money. I did not have any more money at all.
They have been treated, and they were at a veterinarian hospital. So these puppies were being treated. They were at a veterinarian hospital. Rachel has receipts where she covered 100% of every puppy treated. All were treated. And so Taylor reached out to her because I think Taylor felt as if the place where she worked was more equipped to handle parvo puppies. Mm-hmm. And so she contacted Rachel and wanted to take the puppies. So this is the message for that.
Right.
Oh, did you figure it out, Rachel? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's actually doing pretty well.
Great. Yep,
so this message here, she goes, if you want me to get them to the EC for treatment, just let me know. And I said, I can't afford it. I am beyond maxed out. I know you can't hide these guys like you did them, because originally she had taken 2 puppies and she basically lied and said that they were like some abandoned puppies or something, but both of them died. And she says, I can spin a story without a doubt, and you don't owe me anything. If you want to get me those last 2 at the vet somehow, we have plasma ready to go. Seriously, I just want to try and save them. And I said, okay, let me see what they say. I'll call. And I said, okay, they said they would benefit from being treated as soon as possible. One of them is doing better than the other one. Do you want me to meet you up there and then you take them in? Hey, where do you want me to meet you at? What time? I haven't picked them up yet. So that's me picking up these dogs from my vet, okay, and transferring them from my vet to her vet. Now, a lot of people have tried to claim, I've had so many people try to claim on these groups and stuff, you shouldn't be breeding if you can't afford it. Blah, 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 blah. I kept hearing people say that. I did afford it. I did. I've shown receipts. I spent $13,000 trying to save a litter of puppies that basically died. You know what I mean? I was able to save a handful, like literally. So, and so, like I said, originally her offer was, I didn't know her anything. Okay. Be very clear on that. Yeah. And it was under those conditions that I gave her those puppies, because I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. At this point, after having watched what 10 puppies die, or no, 9 puppies die, I wasn't very hopeful. You know what I mean? Like it seemed like I was just throwing money down a hole, and not just throwing money down a hole. I want to be very clear with you on something. I felt guilty because one of my mentors warned me. He told me, put him down, Rachel, put him down. And I didn't do it because I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't stomach putting them down. But after watching each and every one of them suffer and die, and when I mean suffer, I mean you don't get any worse than that. You just don't. And I felt responsible for that. And I felt like a silly little girl that couldn't do what was necessary to prevent suffering. Like some kind of, hippie girl that was hopeful and had a, head full of dreams and that I caused their suffering because I wasn't willing to do what was necessary. And so despite that, I still let her take the pups. Still let her do it. Okay? Even though I was feeling guilty for everything. God, there's a stupid gnat in my face.
Yeah, welcome to
Yeah, welcome to Virginia, literally.
you see Taylor say that Rachel wouldn't owe anything. Like that's basically, I mean, that's what she says at this point, because Rachel expressed to her that financially she can't go any further. She's maxed out. So that's where we are with this.
So, okay, so this is where she says that. Okay, this is where.
Okay, here we go.
So, okay. So she was trying to start a GoFundMe, and so I was like responding to that. And so I think I think this is like a carry on of what we were originally talking about. It's going to depend on how they start responding and how quickly. I just found out they changed the pet policy this year. So you have to have a pet for 90 days before you can use your discount. And she goes, yeah, I could say they are mixes. So yeah, it has to do with that story she was going to spin. And I said,
she's spinning the story to protect her job.
Right.
She's telling people on social media that it was to protect Rachel, but it was to protect herself.
Right. It was to protect her job.
Her job would not treat puppies that belong to a breeder. You know what I mean?
Right. So she goes, I could say they're mixes. And I said, oh, wow, I'm so sorry. I can definitely pay for it. Even if you can't get a GoFundMe going, I just need some time to make the full amount. So even though she said she would pay for it, I still offered up to pay for it because I thought, I knew that she had a discount. I knew it was pretty substantial. I figured she offered to pay because of the discount. But now that there's no discount, I felt a little obligated to help out at this point. She goes, I wasn't banking on my discount, so I'm not worried about it at all. Explanation point. Once again, making it seem like, don't you worry about it, Rachel. I've got you. And she goes, I'll try to get some pictures of them and start a campaign. And I said, I really appreciate it. I promise you, no matter what it is, I'll pay it. And I did. And she goes, I know you will. Like I said, I'm not worried at all. I just want them to get the best possible care. And my people are the best of the best. And they will do anything for them, especially because they all know they are my dogs. And I said, thank you so much. And then I said, we lost another one at the vet yesterday. And she goes, I can't believe they didn't call you yesterday. I'm so sorry. Because we had been talking about how bad my and I want to show you something.
So the problem is not that they were purebred. It's that she took the puppies into her employer and she told them that so she could get a discount. She didn't tell Rachel up front how this would even work. She just tells her, hey, let me have your puppies. I can save them. You won't owe anything. And then she starts slowly breaking the ice that this is all kind of on a discount type of basis, that there will be some sort of monies due. But if my job knew that these were not rescue puppies and they came from a breeder, I could be in trouble. They won't treat them. Like, they have to be like a rescue sort of thing. She just kind of twisted the story, and it was to protect herself.
Yeah. So here is where, because she's been accusing me of not doing everything that I could, of just being willing to let them die. And here we were on the phone, and this is where I had been doing all that crying. And she said, damn, I would have taken her too, to at least try. That makes me so sad. I really love these puppies. And I said, she is dead. And then she had the broken hearts. And I said, that crying she just did was her dying. And I said, She said, "I'm so sorry, Rachel. I know you did everything you could for them." So keep in mind that the things that this woman is saying about me and the way that she's acting is even after she experienced this suffering with me. She knows exactly what I went through. And she's still coming at me like this, which means that the woman is pathological. She literally lacks empathy. So what ends up happening is that only one of the puppies that she treated made it, which was a boy, and I sold him. And then I offered her the female because that was the same female that she had helped me with whenever that puppy had pneumonia. And I paid her $500 for that, mind you. But she had saved that puppy, and then she had this big story about how whenever she got there, and the puppy perked up whenever she got there, and blah, blah, blah. And I just felt like I wanted to offer her the puppy. The same way that she has, Taylor has a habit of whenever people come in and they have a dog and they can't afford the treatment for the dog, she'll take the dog. In fact, if you Google her name, Taylor, but you have to do her other last name. I don't know why she has two last names because I don't think she's ever been married, but she does have a Neary or something like that. It's the same name that she used to make the GoFundMe for these puppies. And she had a corgi that she tried to save. And what happens is when these people do this, the owner surrenders the dog and they cover the treatment and then they get the dog. So the agreement was that she would get to keep one of those puppies, and she would cover the cost for that dog, right? Which was perfectly fine with me. And this is us talking about that. Boom. Is it in? There it is. So the message, I said, I just put $300 on the campaign anonymously. I love that video, by the way. It just warms my heart. I'm so happy. You just have to make sure you bring her by so I can give her lots of love and kisses from time to time. Thank you so much. I just want to give her everything after what she went through to stay here. All the doctors and staff are just in awe of her. She was just seeing the light and fought like hell to live because she wasn't done on this earth yet. And you know what? I need to open up that message. Because I didn't even open up that message to even see everything that it says for you guys. Let's see here. What is a keyword in that? Hell. Let's look under hell. So let's see here. Apparently she says that a lot. That's not a good word. Earth. We don't say earth a lot. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just thankful you were there for her when she needed you. I mean, here's a little bit. No, don't do that. So here's one. Oh, no. That's not good. All right, let's see here. Screenshots here. Share. Just you. Okay. Okay. All right, so here she is, where we're talking about the dog. Everyone needs a little miracle in their lives. Most definitely, I'm just so thankful you were there for her when she needed you, and she gets to enjoy her life. As her breeder, it's my responsibility to ensure that she gets the best home possible, and I couldn't imagine that being anywhere else but with you. She said, then she sent me the boy Capone, the boy that started it all. Things have been so crazy and definitely been missing me. So we took some time tonight for snuggles. Now I'm going back to the ER to hang out with my girl for a little while. The universe has been trying to bring that sweet baby angel into my life over and over again. Who am I to deny fate at this point? So you can see here that she had accepted the dog. She was totally fine with the dog. And that was the agreement that we had. And so I had sent her I didn't just send her $300. I actually sent her $1,000.
After the 300, so
Yeah.
$1,300 in total. And
Mm-hmm.
that is the beginning that she sent her $1,300.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. See if I can find it. Where's it at? Where's it at? Here we go. So this is where I sent her. All right. So, okay, I got more than expected on GoFundMe, so I sent you $1,000. I'll try to help as I can. She said, "Thank you so much. I'm not at all surprised your fundraiser took off. People that follow you die hard. Of course, I would be able to help with more if I wasn't having to pay for that female that I bought in August. I have to pay for her monthly expenses and the stud fee that I paid to breed her, which is €3,700. I already paid for her, so it's kind of a bad timing with the puppies getting sick. And I'll tell you, she has lied and told people that I hadn't bought that dog yet. She's telling people that I bought the dog with that money, and that's not true. I had already paid for the dog. I've proven that before with screenshots that I sent to the breeder. I had to pay for the stud fee, and I had to pay for her care and shipping. That's what I had to pay for. She says, "I totally understand. I'm hoping that my fundraiser will eventually get some traction. It's not a big deal, but it would definitely help." And I said, plus I have to have her shipped over here once the pregnancy is confirmed, another €117. And she says,
And this was a dog that Rachel purchased like what, 6 months
it was like
prior?
6 months prior. Yeah,
6 months. This
prior.
dog was purchased 6 months before Trinity's
any dogs ever got sick. Yeah.
And she purchased her, and she stayed there for a to go back into estrus,
right,
and to be bred with the import dog. So that's why the dog stayed so long. So Rachel had a standing bill with that breeder for her boarding and shipping.
Right.
So okay, go ahead.
And so she says they will take small amounts from my paycheck every 2 weeks until I pay off the balance. So it's not dire need as long as I'm making consistent payments. And I said, when this female comes in from Europe, I will have plenty of money to pay it off if the GoFundMe hasn't. So I did not hear from her about the GoFundMe until much later. But before we talk about the GoFundMe, we have to talk about Akiro. So Akiro was a dog that many of you know was Hefe's brother. A lot of my haters accused me of getting rid of Akiro because his face had a big long mask or whatever, but that actually had nothing to do with it. The fact is that I did not like his movement, and I thought that there was a possibility that he was dysplastic. But I was also aware of the fact that he could just have growing pains. There was a similar situation going on with another breeder that I knew that had experienced something similar. And so I let Taylor know that. But I also let other people know I figured Taylor had too many dogs and that she wouldn't want Akiro. So I had actually found Akiro a home with someone else before, and Taylor asked for him. So that's a very important thing. Taylor asked for Akiro, knowing that he could be dysplastic, but that it wasn't guaranteed, but knowing that he could be. And let me see here. Let me try to find the picture. Let me see here. Let me see where I talk about that. Let me see here. There's that. Did you get the x-ray? That's good. see here. These are the bills. I'm looking for one that I don't think I sent to them, but I did send it to somebody else today. Let's see here. No, come on. Let's go to view photos. All right, here we go. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Boom. Just you. Boom. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so this is the message where I was talking to, this is actually me talking to the woman who has Liberty and Oso. I had asked them if they knew somebody that would be willing to take a dog that was potentially dysplastic. And she says, sorry, I was cleaning snake cages. Yes, they are. We decided Cameron is a better fit. He works with Robert at Johnny Rooter. He's in the process of buying a new house on land, and his wife is a nurse who works graveyard so somebody will always be home to watch over him. And I said, okay, perfect. Then I talked to Taylor, and she said she wanted him. So then I contacted the woman after that, and I said, hey, I have a friend who's going to take him. She lives 15 minutes away, works for a veterinary hospital. She's able to get his surgery done at 70% off of the price. She will have all the facilities available for her for his rehabilitation. So it's the perfect setup. I really appreciate it. And she goes, Taylor is the best fit for him for sure. I'll let Cameron know. He was our neighbor when we bought Oso home, and he fell in love with him. And now when he comes by, he cuddles with Liberty. So Taylor is acting like I just pawned this dog off on her, but she asked for him. So that's another lie that Taylor is telling. She asked for him.
He's not dysplastic. He wasn't needing any sort of surgery.
No,
he didn't. We didn't like his movement. Is right. All it was. We didn't know if he was going through pano or if he had hip dysplasia. And so, all right, go ahead.
So I got to find the message where she talks about the x-rays, because I just saw it. Where's it at? Dang it. Where is it at? Oh, that's why I'm in the wrong messages. Let's see here. Here we go. Forward just to you.
So from what I've seen on social media, Taylor's just going around, berating around like she was keeping this dog. Like the dog was just thrown on her. And then I've seen her post where she's just keeping the dog for Rachel, that it's actually not her dog. But Akiro was given to her. And even after Rachel found out from Taylor he wasn't dysplastic. Child, what are you drinking?
Girl, apparently sugar syrup.
Jesus.
You hear Savannah? I appreciate the coffee flavored sugar syrup. My throat thanks you. Okay.
So Taylor's many stories. She's got many stories, like in regards to all this. Sorry, go ahead.
So here's the message about the x-ray. Because Taylor has often said, she's gave me a dysplastic dog, she blah, 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 this and this and that. She's tried to make this claim the dog is worthless. But that's not true. She says, did you get the x-ray? And she goes, I mean, they actually look pretty great. And I said, yeah, they are fantastic, because indeed his hips were fantastic. And she goes, agreed. Let me know what you want to do with this new information. Now, at that time, I had two choices. One, take him back, which would have been completely understandable. That's why she was asking me what I wanted to do with the information. I could have taken him back, or B, I could have let her have him. And the way I saw it was that here's a woman who wants this dog, and she covered bills for my sick puppies. So you know what? I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to give her this dog, which now we know is not dysplastic, right? So the way I see it is that I'm giving her something of value because she gave me something of value. That's the way that I see it. I saw it as us being fair, as a friendly exchange, right? That's what I thought that this was. And I said, you can keep him. Just let me use him in the future for breeding if he turns out. Would you be okay with having him titled if he turns out? Mind you, because the pano, which is basically growing pains, can make a dog move funny, and that can affect the way the dog matures because it affects the way the dog moves their body. So there wasn't a guarantee. So she says, sweet, exclamation point, even though although over the internet she's been acting like it wasn't even her dog and like he was useless and worthless. And she goes, yeah, I could definitely title him if he turns out. Do you think your handler would show him? So we continued to talk about that. So so as far as I understood, we were even Steven. In fact, if you look at what my dogs cost, she had officially at that point gotten more value out of me than what she had spent on the puppies that I was responsible for, because I wasn't responsible for the puppy that she kept, right? I wasn't responsible for that dog, and I'll prove that to you now. And I'll prove it that she knew that I wasn't responsible in her own words.
And she did not pay not a penny for Akiro, not a penny.
Not a penny for Akiro.
The only thing she did was get the dog's hips x-rayed.
Right, which I offered to pay for that x-ray.
Yeah.
So here is the message from Taylor that I get after the fact, okay? And as you can tell, she literally says we haven't discussed it. Hey, Rachel, we haven't really discussed the parvo puppies since everything happened. I know you've been crazy busy with the move and just life in general, as I have. But I wanted to check and see if there was still a plan in place to reimburse me for some of the expenses from treating those puppies. Obviously, Rhea's portion of the expense would not be included since she is mine and I take full responsibility for her treatment. Now, she has not taken full responsibility for her treatment anywhere online. According to everyone else, not only was I supposed to pay for that dog, but according to her news story, that now my health guarantee should have kicked in, and apparently she's due another free dog, is what I've heard. Originally, we had discussed that you would finally get everything finished up with Mona and getting her to the States. You'd be in a better position to help with the vet bill for the puppies. The main reason I ask is because Rhea has unfortunately developed an orthopedic issue in her left shoulder related to the abscess that sloughed away all her skin, which is most likely going to require surgical intervention. I'll do whatever is needed to get her back to 100% without hesitation, but my concern is that my outstanding bill could potentially be a roadblock in getting that scheduled if it's needed. No one has said anything or implied that would be the case since I have been making my biweekly payments towards the balance. I was just hoping we could discuss it further and work something out. I emailed the invoices for Night, Omen, and Puppy over to you to look at with the $1,300 you have already contributed. The remainder for the puppies without including Rhea is $1,566.14. Let me know what you think and if you need anything else from me. So she's acknowledging that the only amount of money that I owed after everything was said and done was $1,500. And yet I gave her a dog worth over $1,500. So she's comfortable taking a gift from me that's worth more, but she won't give me a gift. And mind you, another thing that I brought up is that she paid for the treatment for that corgi, and that corgi died. She did have a GoFundMe, and she did get around $900 and something on her GoFundMe for that dog. But somebody asked her if she went after the owner of that dog, and of course she had nothing to say about that. So let's be clear: she's open to paying for a stranger's bill, but not her own friend. Even though she offered it, she wasn't okay with that. So my response to that. Mind you, I was annoyed by that because I thought we were even and she had said I didn't owe her anymore. So I was annoyed by it, but I was like, you know what? I didn't say that to her. I didn't say Akiro was for that. So if I'm going to be fair, I'll pay it. Fine, whatever. And at the time, I couldn't spend the money at that time because I was trying to move, and I couldn't breed for 6 months. Everybody knows that. I had told everybody I'm not going to be doing any breeding for 6 months. So financially, that part of me was shut down. I still had and I needed to move. That was a big thing, is I needed to move. So let me send that. So here's the long version of that message. So she sent it. I said, I can definitely give you the money whenever I get paid for my litter with Trinity. Unfortunately, I don't have any money right now. I'm completely broke from purchasing a house. So actually, I take that back. At the time she sent that message, I had already purchased the house, or I was in the process of purchasing the house. And then she said, yeah, I totally understand. Whenever you have it, just let me know. You can even just pay the hospital directly. And I said, okay, thanks. And it's mindful. She got fired after that. And so the only thing that I owed at the time that she was fired was $1,500. And I said, hey, are you okay? I just saw your post. And she says, yeah, I'm okay. Sorry, my other job. That's why I didn't answer. So that's what I was asking her about. Reese, am I missing anything about this part of the issue?
Let me think. Okay. Okay. I'm here, but my brain left my body real quick.
Do not get mad at him.
No, can't really see it. Oh yeah. So at no point in the beginning of this matter over the puppies did Taylor ever mention to Rachel that Rachel would owe a bill. And you have to understand that she said whatever she could to get these puppies, and then she started slowly, opening up about like the way it would work with her job and the fact she's getting this on a discount and may not be getting it on a discount. Like, we know this. And now, like, all of a sudden she needs money.
Yeah. And so I just put up another one. I wanted to show this. Not only
allegedly.
Huh?
They're like, Reese, all this is allegedly.
Yeah. So not only did she get paid by me, like not only did I cover my portion of the bill, because I did send her, not only did I send her $1,500, I actually sent her $1,600, just even. So not only was she fully paid back for the puppies from me, which I will show that to you in a minute, that I did pay her. Not only did she get fully paid back from me, but she also admitted to someone else, not to me, to someone else, that she says, one of my friends donated a large sum of money to help me treat those puppies. And when I came clean, the first thing I did was call her and ask her to let me repay that money in installments, because she was trying to help me, not a breeder who would profit off the sale of that puppy. So let's be clear. The money that the friend paid wasn't for my puppies. It was for her puppy, because my bill was paid. My bill was paid. So what she's saying here is a lie. And I'll show you that I paid her right now. I'll show where's my Venmo? I'll just go and do another screenshot of that payment that came through, or that I sent out. So here it is. Boom. It's going to be a horrible message because it's so small. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So there it is. Taylor Limbeck, August 27th, $1,600.
And she paid her more than what she asked for, know.
So she's fully paid off, 100% paid off, claiming that she's not paid off, claiming that the money that the friend donated was for my puppies, when in fact it treated her puppy, is what it treated.
And let's go over the facts, all right? This girl had a GoFundMe that raised, I believe,
$1,400.
about $1,400. Rachel has given her $1,300, $1,600. She had a friend that donated a large amount of money that, she's not disclosing how much money the friend donated.
Horrible.
And now on social media, she's going around telling everybody that Rachel owes allegedly $4,000 to $8,000 all of a sudden.
$8,000. She goes around telling everybody I owe her $8,000.
When we see right here, according to her messages, Rachel only owes her the 66 or something like that. So,
and that message that she sent, the message that she sent about the money, about how much money was owed, was on June 14th. Okay. I sent her the money on August 27th because of the fact that I told her I would give it to her out of my money, out of my Trinity litter, which is exactly what I did. Exactly what I did. Now, where all of this went wrong is when it comes to Taylor having to get rid of all of her dogs. So Taylor lost her job. Her life kind of fell apart. When I met with Taylor in person in Tennessee to pick up Akiro and Voodoo, she told me to my face she lost her job because her boss told her that she could process a $300 refund on her account. She processed that refund. Upper management saw that she processed a refund on her own account and fired her. That's what Taylor told me to my face.
My alarms are going off. My alarms are going off. So let's make this make sense right now. Okay. Taylor allegedly owes them money, but they allegedly owe her money.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds familiar. You know what I mean? Wow, it sounds strikingly familiar. I wonder where I've heard that before.
Yeah. So it's just what she tells Rachel. And Rachel drives. So Taylor was living in a suburban area, is what I heard allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly.
Yeah. She lived in a nice neighborhood when I sold her the dogs.
Yes, exactly. And then she moved into a different home that allegedly looks smaller. And trying to figure out what was going on. And I was like, oh, so when she got the dogs from Rachel, she was living in a different residence.
Right.
So now she's living in a different place. And Rachel, tell them how you drove and whatever, because she had a landlord.
I'm gonna show this. So this is where Taylor contacts me. Hey girl, I'm having a big issue with my landlord right now and he's fighting me on the dogs big time. I'm trying to find places for everyone. I hate to ask this, but would there be any way for you to take Akiro back? And you see how she says, even temporarily. Now, why would you say even temporarily if you weren't actually saying just take him back? Even temporarily. Why? Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I mean, why wouldn't you just say temporarily? If you wanted him back, why wouldn't you say, hey, can you hold on to him for a little bit? Whatever. I'm sure what she said to other people. She says, I know the main reason you let him go was the hip thing, which ended up not even being an issue. And I know that Savannah really misses him. So I thought I'd ask. If not, I can see if my stepdad would let him stay with him temporarily. So it is my understanding that basically what happened is Taylor contacted some guy on Facebook Marketplace about a rental. And she says he met the dogs and that there's no lease, but that he seemed cool with the dogs. This is what I think happened. I think that this guy came over to Taylor's house, and because he was cool with all of her dogs, and maybe she said, these are my dogs. Yeah, allegedly. Okay,
right.
allegedly. I said, this is a theory. I'm not stating this as fact. This is my best guess, is that that's more than likely what happened. She just assumed, brought the dogs in, and then the landlord was like, heck no, and she immediately had to get rid of all the dogs. Okay. Now, I asked her repeatedly for her lease, because what people need to understand is that in all breeders' contracts, including mine, the one she has with me, if for any reason you can't take care of the dog, you have to give the dog back to the breeder. You at least have to give me the option. And she didn't. She did not give me the option to take Capone back or any of the dogs that she got from me. She flat out put them out without even letting me know, and then asks me if I can take Akiro back. And at that time, I said yes, I would take him back, and which I was kind of happy about, because, like I said, I'd given him to her. Because of the fact that I felt that I owed her at the time, that she had done something for me. I wanted to do something nice back. But if she wanted her money back, I was actually perfectly fine taking Akiro back. But I offered to take Voodoo back as well, because we had basically a co-owned thing where I was going to breed Voodoo twice, and then she was going to keep Voodoo. So Voodoo was getting near breeding age, and so I offered to just take Voodoo back off her hands anyway, since I was going to be doing that. So it was fine. I drove on my own dollars to Tennessee to go and pick up these two dogs and bring them back. Akiro was fine. Voodoo was an absolute train wreck of a dog. Her temperament was so unstable. She tried to bite Savannah multiple times and actually ended up getting her hand the last time. And luckily Savannah moved her hand out of the way, but she did end up getting her at least once.
And they had conversations about the temperament, and
yes.
Taylor asked to have the dog back. And so at this point, it was like, because she's saying that it's an environmental issue. Like, the dog is having these issues, Taylor believes the dog is having, because she's at a new residence. So she's like, the dog does not behave with me like this. And Voodoo originally was in the house, but she had aggression towards Savannah. So
the dog was like, it was literally coming out of her own skin. I have multiple videos of it. I took multiple videos of the dog. One whenever I first got her, which I could see it immediately, but I think I showed other people, and they kind of wanted to think that it had more to do with just the environment. She was around a bunch of dogs, blah, 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 blah. But I've brought enough dogs into my home to know what a normal response is from a dog. So I knew right away, but after a week of her being with me, a solid week of being with me.
No, you did not even have her a solid week. You had her like 6 days.
It was like 6 days, and she literally was still unstable. She was still out of control. And so, and one of the things that bothered me about Taylor is when we would talk about it, she would act like there was no precedent for it. Like she didn't know what it was, like that was not her dog, blah, 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 blah. Like, and it was basically blaming it on me, like thinking that somehow, like that it was like, let me see here. Let me see here. So let's do this. So she claims that it was out of character for the dog, but it wasn't. And as we were talking, I began to realize why she had never seen this stuff, or really she had seen it, but she wasn't willing to what's the word? She wasn't willing to admit to it or whatever. I don't even know what to say, but
I don't really think Taylor has a concept of canine behavior.
No. So she's like asking how they're doing, and I said yes, he was happy to see her for sure. I'm not gonna quit doing that because I'm like staring at the thing. I said yes, he was happy to see her for sure. Voodoo's having a hard time. I said she's biting at people and growling and never stop barking all night long. And she said biting, she's always been more reserved than the others, but never aggressive. I worried she would struggle with a big transition like this. So to me, that's a slight acknowledgement. She goes, I'm so sorry she's being bad for you. And then a sad face. And I said, yeah, we have her in a kennel and she's snapping at anybody that tries to handle her. I should be able to get it figured out. It's not a problem. I just didn't realize she was like this. And she says she's never been like that before. She stayed with a few different people when I've gone out of town, my trainer, different friends, and my parents. This is very out of character for her. And I said, yeah, I'm not sure why. All I did was put her in a kennel. And when I got home last night and I went to bed, and then this morning, Savannah tried interacting with her and she kept trying to fight Savannah's hand, or she kept trying to bite Savannah's hand because she was going to try to let her out. And I just told her to let me handle it. She's in a kennel in the house, not even outside either. And she says, oh, it sounds like she's overwhelmed. No, I don't think you can see that. You can't see that.
Well, you're reading it.
Yeah, it just says, it sounds like she's overwhelmed, shut down. I wish I could help her get better settled with you guys. I hate being so far away. And I said, yeah, I just got home. My daughter said she lunged at her through the kennel and as she was walking by. And she goes, that seriously sounds nothing like my dog, Rachel. Like 1,000% believe you. I just can't imagine it. I take this dog off leash hiking twice a week, took her to the dog park like 2 weeks ago. She's never been aggressive. If I had any concern about her temperament, I would have been communicating that with you this whole time. And I said, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Dogs can respond weird in these situations. I'll evaluate her and see what she does. And she says, if it's not going well and I need to come get her, I will. And I said, it's fine. I can totally handle her. I just wanted to see if that was normal for her. And she goes, no, definitely not normal at all. Hopefully with time, she will show her sweet side because she's actually a really sweet girl. She loves to cuddle and be loved. And then she says, hey, there any improvement with Voodoo? And I'm going to show you guys this because this is, I think, worth showing. I mean, it's all worth showing, but let's see here. We're going to move on to this. Come on down. Okay. Hey, Rachel, any improvement with Voodoo? I feel awful that she's acting so out of character. And then this whole message says, I don't think she's acting out of character. I think that you didn't recognize the issues with her temperament because you're used to working with rescue dogs. I went back and I looked at some of your TikToks to get a baseline for her temperament. And I think that you always knew there was something up with her. You just chalked it up to her being your wild child. I think you love them a lot. And I think you put a lot of training into them, but there is a lack of leadership that I'm noticing. And I'm actually going to show you guys this because this is where she flipped out on me. This is where her attitude changed. Okay. Which I'm not surprised by because people are often defensive about dogs. I said, I think you love them a lot. I think you put a lot of training into them, but there's a lack of leadership that I'm noticing. I did some training with her. What? Oh, whatever. That's odd that it did that. Why would it do that? I mean, I sent the whole thing. Let me just try this instead. Open. Okay. So I said, there's a lack of leadership that I'm noticing. I did some training with her this morning to see how responsive she is. And by the end of it, I was seeing some improvement. So that does give me some hope that I can get her out of it. I'm going to have to keep her separated from Akiro because she's so bonded to him that she won't even look at me when it comes to training or asking her to do anything, which is a common thing that happens when you have a pack of dogs and you have one dog that bonds closer to the dogs than they do the people. She basically has zero confidence when she's not around Akiro. This lack of confidence causes her to act out in fear. And this is back to the message. And she says,
Melina, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She says, okay, I'm okay, ... I'm glad you're seeing improvements. And I could tell right then, I do this, man. Like this is my life. I help people. I know how to tell when somebody's getting a little salty. You know what I mean? When they start bringing out the that's like, I hate you. And I said, I know that's hard to hear considering how much time and effort you put into the dogs and into her training. And she says, it's okay. Thanks for letting me know. It was not okay. And I said, no problem. And then I said, hey there, I'm trying to find a Akiro cone situation nearby so I can still use him for stud if I need to. However, I've decided that I'm not going to breed Voodoo. Let me see here. Just send this. It's so funny to me how she like talks crap about my breeding program. And yet here I am once again, not breeding a dog that I could make money off. A breeding age dog could easily breed this dog and make money, right? All day. And I didn't. But I'm greedy and horrible. I have no morals. Okay. So, I said, hey there, so I'm trying to find an Akiro cone situation nearby so I can still use him for stud if I need to. However, I've decided that I'm not going to breed Voodoo. I really don't think her temperament is ideal for breeding. She was your replacement for Capone, so I wanted to check with you before trying to find her a home to see if you knew somebody local that could take her for you until you get your house. She tried to bite Savannah again yesterday, and there really wasn't any reason for it. And then she says, yes, I do have a place for her. She goes, I do have a place for her. And I said, okay, perfect. That makes it a lot easier. I did not want to have to try to rehome a dog that was a bite risk. I want to be very freaking clear about that. So this is where I could tell that she already wasn't believing me. I mean, I already could tell, but I had a feeling that it was starting to get a little out of control. So, let's see here. It's called reading between the lines. Come. All right. So she said, hey, I would definitely like to see that video you took of Voodoo. It'll be good for me and my trainer to build off of with her. If you could do that private YouTube link thing, that would be great. And I said, sounds good. She just bit Savannah. Savannah went to put food in her kennel and she bit her hand. Luckily, Savannah moved quickly and it didn't break the skin. And she goes, I'm sorry. I wish I could get out there sooner than this weekend to come get her. Now, I was very clear with Taylor on the phone that what Voodoo has isn't trainable. There are genetic issues in our breed that while you can kind of like learn to live with the dog, you're not going to fix the dog, if that makes sense. You're not going to change who the dog is. And so we got into this thing where it was like, and like I said, a lot of it was that we had a very long phone conversation, and it became this thing where I was annoyed because I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen temperaments like that before. Seneca had a temperament like that, exactly like that. And so I knew what I was talking about. And yet here I have this person who basically,
What? Yes.
We don't have a spoon?
We probably do, but I don't feel like cleaning one. There's no sugar in it.
I don't feel like cleaning one. Just pour and I'll tell you how much. And so anyway, so I'm annoyed, like I said, because I'm the breeder. I'm the one that she was, that like she found me because that's what I'm known for. You know what I mean? Like I know dogs. So it annoyed me that she wouldn't trust my judgment of the situation, but it was what it was and I ignored it. And she got the dog and I thought everything was fine. Now, when I go to drop this dog off with her, she's filming, and which annoyed me because it's like whenever I film an individual, like when I go out and I film publicly, that's one thing. As there's a lot of courts to say, like there are no rights to privacy when you are in a public place. Okay. Yeah. So that's different. But as far as like filming my interaction with people, I always ask with an individual. I always ask because not everybody is comfortable being filmed. So, but she's filming as we're getting this dog. And I know that she's been trying to build a TikTok and become TikTok famous and viral. And she wanted to say she wasn't trying to be viral, but she kept putting hashtag viral at the bottom of her post, which is whatever. But this is how awkward this is. I have Hefe and Mad Mortigan with me. And I let each one out because I had to drive all the way down to Roanoke, Virginia to go and drop off Voodoo. And so I have Hefe out. I'm walking him around. So he'll go to the bathroom. Eventually he goes to the bathroom. Not the quickest thing in the world, even enough time for me to pick it up. I put him away. I get my Mortigan out, walking him around, trying to make him go to the bathroom, put him away. The whole time Taylor's just sitting in her car. And I'm thinking to myself, why is she just sitting in her car? Like, she's not going anywhere. I've been out here probably 15, maybe 20 minutes, and she's not moving. And I can't see in her car because of the tent. And so eventually she leaves. And then
Girl,
what?
You got a gnat.
Oh, you got a gnat now? Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so I'm scrolling through TikTok, and then I see her. What she had been doing was hugging on the dog, bawling her eyes out, literally just filmed her. She was perfectly fine, was not crying when I handed her the dog, but then puts up the camera, bawling her eyes out. I'm so sorry. You're a good dog. You're a good girl. I'm so sorry. You're a good girl. I'll never do that again. I'm so sorry. And I'm just like, okay, whatever, float your boat. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like it. It made me feel like she was implying that the dog hadn't been taken care of, but once again, I didn't say anything to her about it. Then she posts another TikTok, and mind you, I follow her TikTok because at one point I supported her. And there's what are you doing?
Girl, shit sounds crazy. It sounds ridiculous.
Right, it is. Let's not pretend that this is not ridiculous.
I'm just like, WTF.
Okay, so let's
is weird.
So let's keep going.
It sounds like homegirl is having problems. Okay.
It is. So then she posts a video of thank you, Carissa, of she posts a video of the dog and a person walking up and like rubbing on the dog like that. And she's like, Voodoo meeting a new client today. She's doing great. And I'm just sitting here like, there's no way that dog would act that way with a new person rubbing on it. There's no way. Like, I know that's an absolute lie. And that bothers me because the only person that has any, like, does anything to is me. You know what I mean? Like, it just, but I still didn't say anything. All I did was unfollow her. That's all I did was unfollow her. So, then I see on Instagram, because I didn't unfollow her on Instagram, she posts this picture of the dog, and she's like, hey, trying to make up all this stuff about why the dog is acting the way it is, and then she does like hashtag confidence building, hashtag Scandafio Cane Corso, which is where that dog came from. So I contact her because at this point, she is officially involving somebody that, like, if you know anything about this breeder, he goes after other breeders for temperament issues. He'll even film a dog when it's, or use people's film who filmed a dog whenever they very first time in the ring and they have like the new ring jitters. And he'll claim the dog has temperament issues. So this is a guy that can't afford to have anything come out that he has a dog that has a temperament issue. And she's tagging him in a post about a dog with confidence issues, which most breeders know. In fact, Tony himself has actually made posts talking about dissecting other people's lost dog posts where they talk about things like that. And he'll say, this is key word for, a bad temperament, blah, 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 his whole, thing. So I basically am able to see what is fixing to happen. And I'm like, I basically was like, all right, this has got to stop. You got to stop. So at that point, I messaged her. And she was also lying about what happened with Voodoo and why Voodoo was even at my house in the first place. She didn't want to take any responsibility for the fact that she had to get rid of all of her dogs. So, let's see here. All right, so this is what I sent right here. This is the first one.
I'm back.
I said, hey there, I'd like to talk to you. I said, hey there, I'd like to talk to you about Voodoo and what you're posting on social media about her. And this is August 10th. This is right before she starts going off, okay? And I said, Taylor, I asked you not to say anything about Voodoo. I purposely didn't speak about it to prevent drama. Why are you posting about it? And I said, and you are posting about it. Why? You even did hashtag Scandafio. I don't want to have to speak about this publicly, but you are forcing me to. And for what? Views on TikTok and Instagram? I thought that we were friends. Black Magic is also another Corso breeder. They had a dog named Voodoo. So when you say Black Magic Voodoo, people will contact her. You are going to cause drama for me for nothing. Please stop. And she says, hey, I'm at work already, so I can't talk on the phone. I just looked at Instagram, deleted the thread of comments. I didn't know people were saying anything negative about her being with you. It's not that I don't trust you. I just still plan on doing fun things with Voodoo, despite her washing. Hold on, let me. Now I'm going to have to find, because I didn't open that one up. Let me see here. Let me see here. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. So, you guys, I have so many screenshots. This is ridiculous. So hard to make sense of. Okay, so she says, this is her full message. Come on down. Don't be messaging me, people. People are gonna see it. All in the effort of transparency.
Jesus.
Okay.
Christ. Okay.
All right. So, okay. So, hey, she says, hey, I'm at work already, so I can't talk on the phone. I just looked at Instagram and deleted that thread of comments. I didn't know people were saying anything negative about her being with you. It's not that I don't trust you. I just still plan on doing fun things with Voodoo, despite her washing from the program. Her temperament is not ideal for breeding, and I respect that, but she is still a very athletic dog and has huge potential in other facets of training. That's what I meant about changing how I live with her. It's not a bash against you, and I wasn't trying to start drama. Not one person has asked me why you aren't using her in your program, and I haven't said anything on the subject. I post about training with my other dogs, so am I not allowed to post Voodoo at all? I have always used those tags and pictures of Voodoo. I'll just delete all the posts and I won't post about her anymore. That's what she says.
That's
now,
a tantrum.
That's exactly. That's a tantrum. That's a tantrum. And that's what I'm telling you. She's acting like everything is fine, but underneath it is a very, very, very deep-seated anger going on. Okay? Let me try to move these messages so that whoever this person is doesn't get in trouble. Okay. All right. So we'll go back to that message. So, I say, you can post about her. Just be honest about the situation and please stop tagging Tony and his kennel. I warned you about how he would take that, so why would you tag him? Then she does this.
What does she do?
Let me see here. Let's see here. She does exactly what one would think she would do. She says, I took it all down. She deleted everything up from right up or from when she got rid of the dogs. So basically, she used me as an excuse to delete everything having to do with rehoming all of her dogs. Okay? And Voodoo and all that stuff. And I said, no reason to delete everything. That's dramatic. I didn't ask you to do that. Please don't get like this with me. I am trying to save you and me from drama. Tony will blame you, not me, if he hears about this. Honestly, Taylor, I'm trying to save you and I from drama. I'm not picking on you or being mean to you, nor am I trying to be unfair. I consider you a friend, and I'm just trying to work this out with you. So please just calm down. By deleting all of those posts, you're going to cause drama. Why are you being like this? People are going to ask why you did it. Are you okay? You are acting very erratic. I said, if you can be on Instagram deleting posts, you can respond to me. And I said, the full opening of that message was, look, I don't know what happened or why you're being like this, but I clearly cannot get through to you. I've done all the damage control I can do. I didn't ask you to delete anything. I didn't ask you not to post about Voodoo. I simply asked for you not to speak about the temperament issue. I didn't speak about it either. I never even made a video about it. I'm not asking you to do anything that I myself didn't do. And mind you, for all of you people that are watching, I was trying to protect Tony, even after everything that he had done. Not because I think he's a good person, or because I like him, but because I do try to avoid drama, despite what many people would think. So this is, did I send it? Is it coming through? Here we go. So there is that message where I said that. So,
You don't know what happened to her. I clearly cannot get through to you. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
So then there's just a bunch more like, so, So then we just,
to do that.
Oh, you're fine. So then we just kind of go through all of this nonsense, and it got petty, and I got angry, and I felt taken advantage of. I felt used. I felt betrayed. And so out of nowhere, Taylor, did I send you that, Reese? Did I send you where she requested the money? Out of nowhere.
You told me about it. I think we were on the phone, and Rachel goes, Taylor just requested money.
So I'm basically like, whatever about all of this. Nothing has changed, mind you. Absolutely nothing has changed on my end. What's going on? Savannah, can you bring those barking dogs in for me? Yeah, just bring her in. I really don't care. Just please bring her in. Preacher's in my room. Yeah, put them in your bathroom. Please. Sorry, Zoe's in heat, and she's out there barking because, I don't know, because she's in heat. So I'm on the phone with Reese, and what happened is that someone paid me for a Trinity puppy, and they did a public payment on Venmo. And Taylor saw that and then requested the $1,500 from me. And the passive aggressive, the disrespect, it ticked me off. And I sent her a mean message. This is when I finally lost my temper. And that one I think I'm going to have to find real quick. Let's see here, and then let's do Here it is. This is a long one, you guys. We're going to have to keep going down. Okay. We're just going to include the top part, and you can just trust me on the bottom because it's just barely a little bit that's not in there. So this is when I lost my temper. I said, Taylor, you've gotten 3 free dogs from me. 1 replacement for Capone, Rhea because of your attachment and investment into her. And instead of taking back Akiro when we found out his hips were good, I let you keep him too. That's $7,800 in free dogs in just Rhea and Akiro alone. You not being able to keep Akiro has nothing to do with me. On top of that, I did donate $1,000 to you, making the total $8,800. Then I drove to Tennessee to come pick up 2 dogs for you on my own dime, and then drove 3 hours away again to drop off Voodoo, only for you to then make a TikTok crying hysterically, apologizing to the dog as though I had been torturing her, and then making multiple posts about how you're going to fix the dog with training. I don't know what happened to you, but you went from being a nice person to being passive aggressive and unpredictable. I don't owe you anything anymore. When you took those puppies, you did so knowing that I told you I didn't have any more money, and you told me I didn't have to pay you anything for it. Despite that, I still went out of my way to be generous, and I didn't sell Ray to get my money back, and I didn't take Akiro from you to get my money back for him either. If you feel that you need to attack me over $1,500 because you're mad at life and you want to take it out on me, that's fine. I have nothing to hide anymore. When you made that GoFundMe and came up with that crazy story, everyone knew anyway. It's not like it's a secret anymore. I did not take advantage of you. Dadgummit, where did it go? Anyway, I did not take advantage of you. What? That's annoying. I don't like how it does that. If I jump off of it, it literally disappears. Hold on.
Yes, this is the
So I have nothing to hide, blah, 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 blah. When you came up with that crazy story, everyone knew anyway. It's not like it's a secret anymore. I didn't take advantage of you. I have been very good to you. The only reason you're attacking me is because your life isn't going very well right now, and you're looking for someone to blame. And then I sent her this screenshot, which I'll share with you guys, of what she was telling people on Instagram.
Is that like she's going around on social media saying you sent her these nasty messages, and honestly it wasn't that bad. Like literally it wasn't that. You're just being transparent with her and communicating clearly what you see out of her behavior and how you feel.
Cochino.
And I mean that honestly was not
in the bathroom with saying
it was.
They might be breeding. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying it wasn't really that nasty.
No, yeah, exactly. It really wasn't that nasty.
She's going around saying Rachel sent me these nasty messages, and really, they're not that bad. I've seen worse. I have seen way worse. That's not bad.
So when it comes to her and her stuff, she'll lie. So somebody says, does Sarah have Akiro now? And she said, Akiro is back with his breeder, matured into a prospect for her program, and she wanted him more local now that she's moved. That's not what happened. Taylor lost him. So she's comfortable lying for herself, but God forbid I try to lie to save myself from people who like to bully and harass me at a moment when I was literally going through some of the worst pain I've ever gone through. But, hey, she's a victim, right? So, and so I basically said, I also don't, this is where I said that. So this is where I think this is important to share. This is where it ended. This is literally where it ended. And then she went on a campaign of hate. Okay. I said, I also don't appreciate you lying about what happened with Akiro. You couldn't keep him and I took him back for you. And then
had you sent her the money at this point?
What? No, I had not sent the money at this point. I
Okay,
said it.
okay.
I pay it. You'll see at the bottom. I paid it during this conversation.
Okay.
I said I also don't appreciate you lying. In fact, it'll be funny to see what the time frame was on this. how quickly I de-escalated my anger and paid it. I said, I also don't appreciate you lying about what happened with Akiro. You couldn't keep him, and I took him back for you, and then decided to keep him local. If you just would have come to me and apologized and asked me for a favor, I would have helped you. Still might, but you have to stop acting like this. This isn't the way forward. I have always considered you a friend. You are not treating me like a friend right now. And then I said, I also want to be clear that I'm well aware that I told you I would pay you money for the puppies. However, I said that because I wanted to help you as my friend, despite the free dogs you got from me that you are using to get a social media following. What is the value of that, Taylor? How much do you deserve? Let's not forget that you also said that I didn't have to pay you anything when you took the puppies. Then you asked for money after I got my money back. I literally only made back what I spent on the litter. I made nothing extra. And I said, all you have taught me is that you cannot trust people. The minute you got into a hard spot, you started asking me for money, despite saying I didn't owe you anything. What was I supposed to say? No, you went back on your offer. I will pay for Akiro's x-rays, though. And I literally went from that to I paid it. I was angry at how you've treated me, but ultimately I do think it's the right thing to do. Unfortunately, you have lost me as a friend because of how you have treated me. Okay? Now, from me being angry, which was at 12:15. So in less than an hour, I went from screw you, I don't owe you anything, and being angry, rightfully so, to I paid it.
Yep. Yeah.
And then at 5:47, so she I guess this is worth showing. So this is what she responded with.
They're not really that nasty, Rachel. They're not nasty. And just to let everybody know, my involvement in this is
zero.
I had none.
Exactly, yeah. Reese had none. And yet she's being thrown into it.
I don't know, Taylor. When all of this is going on, I heard from people that are actually friends or acquainted to the people that don't like Rachel. And this person told me that Taylor told her and a bunch of other people that so basically I heard that Rachel was being bashed. And I'm like, what? And so I go on Facebook. I'm never active on Facebook. I don't do anything on Facebook but talk to foreign breeders and look at dogs. Like, that's it. I am not messy. I don't do drama, whatever. So I go on, I try to look Taylor up because I think we're friends on Facebook, but I'm not sure. And I can't find her.
Blocked her.
Find her anywhere. I'm like, where is this girl? Because I want to see like what's going on. Yeah. And then I hear from this girl that's a part of the community that Taylor is telling people that she blocked me because I tried to reach out to her. I don't know Taylor. I've never tried to reach out to her. If I ever did, let's just say like.
No, I will say this. One time we spoke with her about her GoFundMe because her lie was so outrageous that it was causing a lot of like flare up, and we were worried about her job. And so we tried to warn her to stop posting about it for her job safety.
Exactly. And as far as the community is concerned, they're making lies about me, that I was involved and I was going around spreading that Rachel needed money and this and that. And none of that is true. and that I was spreading around about her puppies and what they had, or what they didn't have. I don't really know, but anyway, they're trying to spin it and involve me in a way that I was not involved. My only involvement in it was that I was a support system for a friend in need at the time of her need. I had no reason to go anywhere, social media, YouTube, and speak on behalf of her situation, because she was already talking about it on her channel. And I kept what she told me a secret as a friend. But now I'm being thrown into it. They're spinning it. They're saying, you could have told her not to do it. Rachel is an adult. We're adults here. And she's a friend, okay? If a friend told you something in confidence that you're not going around, you're going to go spread it, and it doesn't hurt anybody, doesn't hurt anybody but the person telling you, then you keep it. And so I'm not doing these things that they're accusing me of. I do not know Taylor in the way that it's being implied. And so my involvement was that I was the friend that was there for the emotional phone calls and for Rachel, just period. And I wish I could have done more. I really do. I was here in Virginia. I couldn't do anything but lend an ear and support in that way. So
yeah. So this is her response to what I said, and also me paying her. This wasn't an attack. I asked you months ago if there was still a plan in place for you to reimburse me some of that money, and you said yes when you sold the Trinity puppies, which is coming up soon. I had a place for Akiro to stay here. I only asked you because I knew Savannah loved him and was missing him from previous conversations we had. I would have happily taken him back with Voodoo, but I knew you were trying to place him closer, which I'm not quite sure why she even brought that up, other than the fact that I've heard her say, I've seen comments where she basically was like mad at me for selling him. That her whole thing is that she only offered him to me like because she wanted to keep him and she wanted me to hold him for her, but then I just sold him and she didn't want that because she could have found a home for him. So basically she feels entitled to a free dog plus the money and all that stuff. She goes, I would have happily taken him. What's up?
I said Akiro was rehomed into a pet home, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's in a pet home. Rachel is not going to use him. He's in a pet home.
No. Yeah, he's in a pet home.
So
he's nowhere near me. In fact, he's like across the country. Actually, he's not even local.
Yeah. In a pet home.
So then she said, Rhea was not a free puppy. It cost me almost $4,000 to save just her, which I didn't ask for reimbursement on since I did get to keep her, not including all the follow-up treatment for the rupture abscess on her shoulder and the orthopedic repercussions that have stemmed from that infection. I also made drives on my own dime, 14.5 hours and 18.5 hours just one way, as though somehow that means anything. Of course you drove. You needed me to take the dogs. Why does that mean anything? I do remember saying that you didn't need to worry. about the last two puppies because I just wanted them to live, which was Rhea and Knight. So you can just forget about that one if you'd like. But the others, we definitely discussed reimbursement. When that parvo situation happened, the only free dog I had from you was Voodoo because of the puppy I paid for had hip dysplasia, and per your health guarantee, you offered her to me. I'm not in a hard spot. I'm perfectly content and happy with how things worked out in my life recently. Akiro was only free because you thought he had hip issues like Capone. I appreciate the reimbursement and I wish you the best in Virginia. So basically, I paid her back, and now she's admitting that actually I shouldn't have to pay her for one of those dogs, but I don't see her reimbursing me for that. So, okay. And what she doesn't mention here, which I didn't know about, somebody else had to tell me, the message that I showed you guys where she admitted that a coworker or a friend of hers made a large donation. She's basically claiming it cost me almost $4,000 to save her. Now, my first and second pick puppies go for $3,900. So she didn't even pay because, and you guys know, all my litters are sold before they're born. So this dog was already sold. The buyer didn't get this dog so that she could get the dog. Okay. So the dog was worth money. The other 2 puppies I did sell. You know what I mean? So I really don't know what she's trying to claim out of it. So, and then also Akiro was only free because you thought he had hip issues like Capone. Okay, that's true. But what about whenever you sent me the x-ray that he didn't have hip dysplasia? What then? Does he have value now that we know that the issue that we thought he had an issue, and not only does he not have that issue, but now he has fantastic hips? As far as I'm concerned, that raises the dog's value, because not only are you buying a dog from me that is a large breed dog and is prone to things like hip dysplasia, but I already have an x-ray proving this dog doesn't have hip dysplasia. So it would make sense that the dog would have value, but of course it can't have any value. To her, can't have any value. So by 547, I'm spitting, and she responded to that at 122. I paid it at 104. She responded at 122. And then I found out that she posted on Facebook at 5:47 p.m. So after everything was done, after she was fully paid back, she acknowledged that. After everything, she went on a campaign of hatred against me because... Why? Because things didn't work out? Because I was mean to her, in her opinion? I don't know. But that's the truth about Taylor. That's the God's honest truth. And she is going out of her way to slander me, to try to destroy my reputation. And, I personally just was going to ignore it. I was going to just let it go. And then when she started posting on Jason Corey's stuff, and it just got to be a bit out of hand. And I really felt that it was time for me to say something. And I don't want to be like, you guys have told me about how a lot of people, they don't watch my channel because of drama. They watch my channel because they want to see the dogs. And I'm aware of that. And I try to respect that by not responding to a lot of the hate that I get. And I really tried to let this go. I mean, this started on August 27th. And I've only just now started talking about it, just now today. I tried to let it go because I recognize that Taylor is young. She's emotional. She's going through a lot right now. And I just thought that maybe she would regret it if I was just quiet and I just let it go. I thought she would just have to sit with it and eventually she would feel bad, but it didn't happen. It just escalated. The more I didn't respond, the more empowered she became. And she started to include more and more and more people. And I already have a bunch of people that believe a bunch of lies about me. And I'm just sick of it. Like, I'm just unbelievably sick of it. And I'll be honest with you. Somebody just sent me a text message asking me if this doesn't make me like afraid to make friends. Yeah, it has actually. One of the things that I've learned is that, unfortunately, as much as I would like to have friends and I would like to be able to be close to people, I can't. Because unlike you and your friends, if you and your friends get into it, you're not going to try to destroy each other's lives publicly when things go wrong. But unfortunately, because I'm a public persona, when I do something somebody doesn't like, or if they have a disagreement with me, they go out of their way to try to destroy me publicly, particularly knowing about the fact that there's already people who don't like me. I'll give you another example. There's a woman going around right now claiming that I sold her a dog with genetic abnormalities and that I blamed her for it. Never happened at all. What happened is, and Reese could tell you about this, I had a buyer who basically tried to steal a dog from me. She was difficult the whole time. Reese's brother could attest to this. He was the driver. She got the dog and then tried to basically tell me there was a bunch of stuff wrong with the dog, did not send a vet receipt, although it wouldn't have mattered if she had, and tried to basically get the cost of shipping plus a little bit more. It was like $317, something like that, right? Tried to get that from me. After already telling the driver that she was going to be putting me on blast. Before she even got the dog, she was saying to him that she was going to be putting me on blast.
And it's all, hold on. It's all because there was a mix up. This woman was very demanding. She wanted her puppy on a Friday, between like some crazy, like 10 and 2 p.m. Like that's the only time she could take her puppy. No one asked her to buy the puppy. No one forced her to buy the puppy. Transport. I mean, like I told Rachel and my brother, what type of service, like delivery service, calls you and says, hey, what time are you going to be home so I can meet your time frame for delivery? Like it doesn't happen, in any sort of transport situation. And we were going to try to help this woman and get her puppy to her on Friday. And it didn't happen because there was a mix up and they took all the puppies and they were going west, and they apologized to this woman. They told her that they would accommodate and they would still get her puppy there as soon as possible. They traveled 6,000 miles. Within 4 days, they had the woman's puppy to her. And anyway, she's very upset, very frustrated, and she wanted to attack Rachel over the air. So
this is what she did. Let me bring it up. Let me fix the thing so I can bring it up. Boom. And then we're going to do
so that's
this
all
one.
It takes. That's all it takes for people to feel justified in attacking Rachel. That easy. A customer upset because they didn't get their puppy on Friday by 2 p.m.
So basically what she did is during our conversation, one of the driver called her because she kept trying to blame me for stuff that we had pictures of the dog in transport where there was nothing wrong with the dog. She was trying to claim there's something wrong, though there's nothing wrong with the dog. So we have the driver on the phone talking to her because she's basically like making an accusation that would have been more towards the driver than me. And there was nothing wrong with the dog anyway. The driver didn't do anything, but we were making it clear to her that it wasn't, that whatever case she was trying to make, it wouldn't be a case towards me. Okay. And which of course she didn't want to do. She wanted to be mad at me. She didn't want to be mad at him. So she kept trying to like act like it wasn't him. And so as we are on the phone, because she's on the phone with him and it's on speakerphone and we're on the phone with his friend, so we're listening to this phone conversation, I get a call from my bank. Basically, she tried to reverse full payment for the dog without saying a word to me. She has possession of the dog, already took the dog to his initial vet appointment, according to her, and she literally tried to recall the entire payment for the dog. So this is whenever I messaged the woman and she goes, and I had told her, this is where I called her out on it. And then this is her response. Rachel, at this point, not only are you lying, I never told him anything like that, but you're harassing me. This is so unprofessional of you. Actually, that was about her mentioning how she was going to potty train the dog and me having a problem with that. And I said, you already tried to get your money back. My bank called to confirm a refund on your account for the full value of the dog. I refused it, obviously. So you want your money back and I want the dog back. So give me the dog back and take your refund. Simple. She goes, we both know Zelle payments cannot be reversed. Please stop it with your lies, Rachel. I have nothing else to say. At this point, you're defaming my character and you're trying to assassinate my character. I had a great deal of respect for you. I all wanted was a puppy from you because I had respect for you. I can't believe things turned out this way. Please leave me alone. And I said, no problem. I can get proof from my bank. You are the one who told Ralph you were going to put me on blast. Now you deny trying to steal my money? Okay. Well, let me know when you make your post so we can respond with the truth. And this is what kills me, is that I run a business that isn't YouTube. But if anything doesn't work out on my business, if anybody has a complaint, they will use my persona on YouTube as a way to try to bully me into doing what they want. Because they know that I have a bunch of people who hate me. And so they'll go to those people, just like Taylor is doing, and say, hey, Rachel did this and this and this. And they know, or the people that don't like me know, the person making the complaint, that those bullies don't care if it's true or not. They don't even ask for evidence. They just, oh, Rachel did that? Well, I'm not surprised. Of course. And then they just run with it. And now a lie now takes flight. And now all of a sudden everybody's believing something that was never true to begin with. And this is what I deal with. And I'm wondering like I'm borderline getting to the point where I'm going to start making people sign a what is it called? Where you can't talk, like what rich people, what famous people do if you're going to hang out with them. It's like you can't say nothing. It's a non-disclosure agreement. I'm getting to the point where I feel like I have to have that because I don't know how else to protect myself from these people. The only thing I can do is get on here every single time I have a customer that is lying and be like, oh, by the way, I've just had this thing. And it's not practical. You know what I mean? So I'm in this weird position where I'm being bullied and I'm being attacked by even my own customers because of this group of toxic people that just hate me. And it is so hard to deal with. It is so hard to deal with. And meanwhile, the really bad breeders, and I want to show you something. I want to show you that she knew exactly what she was doing. I want to show you a message where she says it. Let's see here. Sometimes it grabs it, but it doesn't show me the actual message. Let's see here. Show me the message. God, it's so hot. Okay, here we go. This is so funny. Oh, God. The irony of it all.
Why?
Okay.
You send it to me. You're looking at.
Yeah, I'm posting it now.
Oh,
No, dude, I'm so hot, Savannah. I'm dripping with sweat. Please help me.
But how do I help you?
Turn the fan on. I'm dying over here.
Why are you dying? I don't understand.
Ugh. All right.
Are we back? We're back to Taylor.
Yeah, I just want to show this, just so people know exactly what she's doing. Okay.
We don't have to talk about the other woman anymore.
Yeah. I just want. Yeah, I literally just wanted to show like that's why like that woman is going around. I saw it because it's only today that story just popped up that somehow I produced a dog, which I think is funny because she says she produced I wish my blah, 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 with genetic issues. That's not, if somebody had an issue out of a dog with me, they wouldn't say genetic issues. They would say, this puppy has scoliosis, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to want people to know exactly what happened. And then she says, painting me like the villain. And I was like, oh, okay, that's the same theme as this woman just, exactly. I was like, there it is. And that's how this stuff happens. It's so ridiculous how toxic people can be and how much they can destroy a person's reputation who doesn't deserve it. And here's Taylor. Mm-hmm.
Before we get to this, like, I've seen messages where Taylor tells people, and this is very selfish of her and inconsiderate. She says that, trying to think, that basically she this is not verbatim, but this is how I'm interpreting what she said. That she did not care that you didn't have the money to pay towards the care of the puppies. That her only goal was to get them and treat them regardless.
Yeah.
And that's just so selfish. It's
Mhm.
very, very, it's a very selfish thing to say. And then turn around,
And blame me.
knowing
Yeah.
and blame you.
Yeah, and
she
say I'm responsible for it.
Yeah, and she told them like that part didn't matter. She
Yeah.
blatantly did not care. It's like
Yeah.
I had to take these puppies and get them under my care and take care of them. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if she didn't have the money. Basically,
Yeah.
it's like it's weird. You know what I mean? I would never do that to a person. I would be upfront. Like this is how this could have went differently. The only way Rachel would have been at fault is if Taylor said up front, and she's not a upfront person. We see that now. Is if she had said, "Hey, Rachel, I'm willing to take your puppies. I can get you a discount.
Yeah.
So it won't cost you the full amount. It'll be discounted, but I can get your puppies treatment." Instead, she said what she had to say to get the puppies and told you at no cost. And then that started to dissolve. And it's very weird to me. And I don't know how anybody would think that's okay. And she was not upfront about how it worked and the fact that this service would even cost her money up front, like personally. You know what I mean? She just, I don't know. I just have a problem with it.
Yeah. So this is Taylor's message proving that she knew exactly what she was doing. We were talking about why, like, basically, like, why things get kept, why we keep things secret or whatever. And she says it's true, but these people are sick and they don't care about the health and well-being of the dog. They just care about exposing the truth no matter who it hurts in the process. I made an Instagram post, but I'm hesitant to post on Facebook because I feel like that's where a lot of the crazy people are. Now,
yep. So she says she knows where the crazy people are. Key.
Yeah.
That's key. I know where the crazy people are.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So she admits that the crazy people are on Facebook. And the same crazy people that she thinks are crazy are the ones that she's buddied up with right now, basically going after me. So
she's reached out to all of them. There's all stories.
So apparently there are a bunch of crazy people, but hey, I guess it's okay to talk to them when they can serve her. You see what I'm saying?
And you know what? Personally, I think she's the crazy one. I don't even know the girl. And I didn't been blocked on Instagram, Facebook. She done blocked me everywhere. I've never said 2 words to this girl concerning this situation. I never even tried. It is ridiculous and crazy in itself.
Yeah. So basically, and so basically, all of this happened because, mind you, when you're trying to figure out why something happened, we need to look at all of the events that happened. All of that stuff happened, but she didn't respond negatively until one thing happened. That's me cutting off my friendship from her. Me cutting myself off from her because I didn't feel respected and I didn't feel that she was trustworthy and that she was a loyal friend. Me feeling that I needed to separate myself from her caused her to try to destroy my life. Now, mind you, I am a single mother. A lot of people may look at my life now and think to myself, oh, wow, she's got all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. Let me let you know about me. My life hasn't been good until now. My mother abandoned me when I was 7 years old. She used to do drugs and leave me locked up in with strangers and closets and whatever. My dad left when I was 2 months old. I was shipped around to different foster homes. I've spent time homeless after foster care. I've had a horrible life. Horrible. Much worse than most people's lives. Much worse. And just because I'm doing something now doesn't mean that like people should be jealous and want to destroy what I've built. I consider it a blessing that, and I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you because I'm a Christian. I believe it is a blessing that God has given me this, because after what I went through, I deserve something nicer. I do. And I've worked for this very hard, and I really try to be a good person. Am I perfect? No, nobody is. But I was literally sitting there thinking about it. I was like, all these people who claim to be Christians and putting up all this information about me and blah, 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 blah. Who did Jesus choose as his disciples? When the Bible speaks about reaching out to people, most of these people were criminals, were people that were sinners. Yeah. Jesus didn't reach out to perfect people.
Prostitutes.
Yeah. And like the idea that somehow, because I have a past, because I broke laws when I was young, I smoked a little pot, that now I deserve to be absolutely destroyed, that my daughter doesn't deserve a good life, that I should not be able to provide for my dogs. I mean, mind you, if you take me down, you take down everyone who depends on me. So what did Savannah do? What did my dogs do to this woman? What did anybody do to her to deserve this? And the next time anybody wants to sit around and be jealous of me, I wouldn't put what I went through on my worst enemy. It's nobody should have to go through what I went through. I need to write a book. At least turn a profit off of it or something. But
girl, I know.
Yeah. You just, I don't care how anybody feels. You don't get to be jealous of me. Not when I went through what I went through. You don't get to be. This is my ability to have a good time. I deserve it. It's my turn to enjoy my life. So get off my back. I'm good now.
I'm a stripper.
With horrible management.
Okay. I thought we just
had to.
I just thought we clear that one up.
Okay. With poor management.
Allegedly, I have midnight special talents. I have talents. Okay, I'm so glad I got that off my chest.
Yeah, and this is something that I want to make I want to set a boundary with everyone very quickly. I share with you guys what I choose to share with you guys. Even if I was a Kardashian type celebrity, which I am not, I don't believe in the idea that celebrities, Savannah, can you handle that? I don't believe in the idea that people do not deserve privacy. I believe that people do. And oftentimes the way that celebrities get away with that, when there is no way of avoiding a topic, is they'll just lie about it. They'll just say it didn't happen, or they'll say something else happened, or whatever it is. But the reality is that I don't owe anyone anything. I just don't. Just because I decided to make videos about dogs does not give anyone the right to know what is going on in my life. And so if I choose to tell you something, then I will tell you. If something happens in my life that is a family matter or whatever that I'm not comfortable sharing, but there's no way for me to avoid that being public, I may decide to lie about it, because that's the only option I have. Period. If I can't hide something, I obviously can't be honest about it. And there are going to be times where that kind of stuff is going to happen. There have been times when I told you guys that I was when I was going on vacation, and I lied about when I was going on vacation because I didn't want people knowing that I wasn't going to be home. Like, there are things that I have to do to protect myself. And unless you are willing to put every decision, everything that you've done out there, then don't judge me. Because just because I make videos about dogs does not give people the right to have access to my life in ways that have nothing to do with my dogs. So I just want to be clear about that. Like, I will absolutely be, I'm not, I really do. I mean, like, this is like the worst thing that anybody's ever exposed me of doing. Is like literally not lying about what happened, not lying about what the money I spent, just not telling you the name of the virus that caused it. And literally I swear to you, that's it. And yet, you know, people are acting like it's a big deal. Not people, like not you guys, but there are people that are. And, you know, it's just, it's unreasonable and it's disrespectful. And I'm going to ask that if you care about me, that you recognize that I deserve privacy too. There are going to be things that are going to happen in my life that I will not be able to explain to you without involving other people. You know what I mean? Like, there were some things that were brought up from the past that the only way for me to defend myself would be to tell you things that you don't deserve to know about other people's lives. And I'm not going to do that. Particularly not just to defend myself, especially over things that are nobody's business. And so, it just is the way it is. And I wish that we didn't feel that like, I can't tell you how differently I feel now about celebrities. Like, I remember that I remember when was it Wendy Williams? Right? Wendy Williams? When her husband was cheating on her? Wendy Davis?
Girl, yes.
Wendy Williams, yeah. When her husband was cheating on her, and it was in the news. Everybody knew.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew.
Baby. Yeah. They knew before she knew.
Remember that? Literally. They knew before she knew. And she didn't want to talk about it. So when people asked her about it, she denied it because she didn't want to talk about it. And she has a right not to want to talk about it. But at the time, I judged her because I was like, who is she? She's always talking about everybody's drama and putting out everybody else's stuff, and she should have to put it out. But the truth of the matter is, I don't get to have an opinion of what she should talk about. It was wrong of me to even make that judgment. We have to watch ourselves because we get this entitlement. We get this feeling like somehow we deserve to know about these people. And it's like, you don't. You don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. What we get, we get. And it's just wrong. And not only that, but we judge these people while knowing that we're not these perfect people. We judge people. I saw this TikTok and I loved it. And they were like talking about why we don't have any heroes anymore. And it's because we judge people to this standard of perfection that we don't even hold ourselves to. And any time that somebody isn't that image of perfection, we want to just expose them and destroy them like a little kid with a magnifying glass on an ant. And I don't see how that helps anybody. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help me. God forbid you ever get popular because it will happen to you too. So I just want to be very clear with you guys. I want to set that boundary right now. If I ever lie to you, it will be because I feel that you don't deserve to know. That's just the truth. And I'm not going to try to lie to you. I couldn't hide that my puppies were sick. I couldn't get around that. There's no avoiding it. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. It's like when a supermodel gets, a nose job and she wants everybody to think it's natural. And so she's not going to tell anybody. If you can't hide it, you may lie about it. If a celebrity's kid disappears and is gone for a while and they're in rehab and they say, oh, they're off on a retreat, you know what I mean? It's because they couldn't hide it and they don't think it's your business. And it's actually not your business. So they shouldn't technically even have to lie to you. They should be able to say, mind your business. It's not your business. But we can't say that because then that would be rude, wouldn't it? So I'm going to just tell you right now, these are my boundaries. I don't want you to have these expectations that somehow I think that you deserve to know everything about me. I don't believe that you do. I believe that it has to do with the dogs, has to do with my breeding program, stuff like that. Of course, obviously I'm going to talk about it, but I have a right to privacy too. And you're not going through what I'm going through. You don't have a group of people just waiting to pounce upon you to try to destroy you every time you do something that they think is wrong. And until you live my life, you don't get to judge my decisions. There will be times when I make executive decisions where I decide that things need to not be public. And that's just the truth. And if you don't like that, you don't have to follow me. You don't have to. But I am telling you now, I will do that. And this was an example of that. And if you think that these examples make me a bad person, then you're more than welcome to feel that way, and you don't have to like me, and I can respect that decision. But these are the kinds of things that I personally am not going to want public. I don't care so much about the parvo thing now because I've moved. And it's easy for me to say if somebody says to me, hey, you've got parvo, I can easily say, yes, I did. I managed it. I've moved 19 hours away from that location. I've officially raised 3 healthy litters of puppies in my current home without incident. So we are good to go in that department. But yes, we did struggle with that, and it is now done. So now I can say that because it can't be used against me. But when you have an army of people that are trying to destroy you, you do have to do something to defend yourself. You see what I'm saying? You can't just lay down and let people stomp all over you and just be a victim. And you guys know me. I would rather go down fighting, kicking and screaming, than I would to sit there peacefully and let somebody just choke me into the darkness. So, I've tried to have balance with that, where I don't, address every single accusation that's ever made against me, but this got too far. I hope that I don't have to do this again. I will tell you, I'm not going to, I'm not trusting anybody else. I'm not trying to be friends with everybody else. And I want to be very clear with people. If I seem cold and distant, if you message me, if you try to reach out to me, I don't want you to take it personal. I want you to understand that I have to set boundaries between me and other people, not because I think I'm a better person, not because I think that I somehow shouldn't have to exist among you, but simply to protect myself, because you don't have the same things to lose as I do. And I can't go around, talking about you online, but you can sure talk about me. And so I have to now separate myself. And that's just the truth. And I don't like that. It's not something that's easy to accept. It's hard for me, to be honest with you. It's kind of a lonely place. But you know what? I got to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? And thank God I have Reese. All I can tell is thank God I have Reese.
And Reese is introverted.
Yeah. And I will say, and I do want to say, big thank you to my subscribers, to Melissa, to Terry, to Connor, to Shannon. Who else, Reese? Who am I missing? I know most of them by their handles, but all of my moderators, all of you that came to me when this was going on and gave me the respect to ask me what happened, instead of just assuming that this woman was right and that she was telling the truth. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you for not just jumping on the bandwagon and giving me the respect to respond. So
you did it. girl. You did it.
I did it.
Yes, she did it.
I've been thinking about this for so long, you guys. I was so torn as to do this because I couldn't
Girl.
tell if God was like giving me a test. You know what I mean? Like testing me to not respond, or I just didn't know. And eventually I was just like, I gotta respond.
We figured it out. Our the people watching figured it out. I am an introverted stripper.
With bad management. Let's not forget the bad management.
Horrible management.
Horrible management.
I am not managed whatsoever. So, yeah. So that's the trend. I'm the shyest stripper ever. That's what Alice just said. I'm the shyest.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I go MIA, because I'm stripping.
Yeah.
In a very introverted way.
Yeah, in a very introverted way. It's so introverted that nobody actually ever sees her. She just identifies as a stripper, but she doesn't actually do any stripping unless you count getting dressed in the morning and potentially changing to get in and out of the shower. But she does strip on occasion. I mean, you has to take her clothes off at some point during the day.
Well, if it helps you guys out, if you wonder why I'm so eccentric, I'm very eccentric. Rachel has been out with me and she knows like my style, and she clowns me for it all the time. I am eccentric because I am an artist. I'm actually an artist. And so I'm a little weird. I'm introverted. I'm quirky. I like mauve velvet furniture with bling.
I will say your furniture likes are definitely stripper-esque. Like I can see that in like a really I'm gonna drop it. I'm not gonna say no more. But let's just say that she's way too comfortable in velvet and sparkles. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's like, I mean, looking at her sometimes and I'm like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. And she like strokes the couch and she's
she knows it. She knows it like every time. She knows it. So like, I'm an artist. That's why I'm weird. And I'm introverted, and that's why I disappear. So if you want to know about my disappearing acts, like that's what's going on. Okay, you want to know?
Because the reality is that unlike me, Reese has a husband who makes enough money to support their whole family, and she does not need to do anything more than what she wants to do. So if she doesn't want to upload to YouTube, you just ain't gonna see her.
I'm pulling in my bedroom. I'm very much, you know what I mean? So like, I'm just weird because it's like just who I am. But I'm a Christian woman. I'm a mother. I'm married. Like, and I live a very boring life, actually. It's very boring. But like, if you ever wondered about me, that's what's going on with Reese.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Yeah. So
people wonder, they're like, what the hell is wrong with her? She's an unmarried stripper. That's what's wrong with her. Yeah. That's what's wrong with me. So, anyway.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of drama brought to you by Taylor and her cronies and the trolls on Facebook who fell for her lies and deceit.
And she knew where to go. She said we know where, hold on. I feel like that's where all the crazy people are. She knew exactly where to go. And it just got worse as she got her hype sauce.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. She literally manipulated a bunch of people against me. And you know, and she did. She went exactly where she knew to go to get people that would join her cause without question. And that's kind of their fault for allowing themselves to be easily manipulated like that, because I think that this shows that it isn't like what she claimed and that she's not the person who she thinks she is. And I think that if they would have just, not they, because they hate me and they wouldn't have cared if it was true or not. In fact, I guarantee you that they will continue to say these things, even though I've proven them wrong. They'll continue to say it. But it just goes to show, like, why you have to be so careful with what you hear about people. You can't just believe things. And that was like one of the things that when I was talking to Jason Corey about this was, you know, he mentioned people putting their stories on his page, on his YouTube video. And I commend him for wanting to speak up and do something about it. My only criticism would be that a YouTube comment section is not the place for people to post their experiences, because there's no way to validate those stories. And so it becomes a rumor factory. If people are going to have a safe place to post the truth, they need to be able to post the evidence to support that truth. Because the only thing that's going to happen is he said, she said. Well, I didn't do this. Well, yes, you did. Well, I didn't do this. Well, yes, you did. Well, the only thing that's going to prove or disprove that is evidence, like what I do. I always provide evidence, and you guys know that, because I want to set the standard very high and very clear. There should always be evidence provided for claims, period. And it's the only way for things to be honest and fair. And I expect that from myself. I've always done that for you guys, and I would expect that from anybody else. So that's what kind of prompted this, is because he made that video, and it didn't have anything to do with me. A lot of people thought that it did, which is how I heard about it, but it actually didn't. He and I talked, and he actually said that it actually had to do with, how many times can I say actually? It had to do with a friend of his who bought a dog that was a completely different breed. And I didn't watch his the video. People, like I said, people told me about it, but she used that. She literally, with all of her freaking narcissism, actually thought, she's like, I feel like this video was made just for me. And then she just starts telling her fake story about me on there, and like accusing my moderators of deleting her comments on my channel and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, absolutely, we deleted it. We're not going to allow you to spread lies on my channel. Like, that's not going to happen. And whenever I saw it over there, and whenever I saw that there wasn't, like, basically there wasn't any evidence like being required or anything, I just was like, all right, like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm officially done with this. And so that's why I decided today that it was time. So, you know, if her intention was to get me to talk about this, I did. I don't think that it caused the reaction that she thought it was going to cause. I knew that it wouldn't, because most sensible people don't think that there's anything wrong with that. It doesn't change the facts. I said my puppies died of a virus. They died of a virus. I said I spent a lot of money. I provided receipts for the money spent. That was true. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what she thought the big ta-da was going to be. But clearly, I guess they think that everyone is as toxic as they are. It's the only thing that I can imagine. So anyway, so that's that. Now you know. There it is. So
I guess we're gonna close, right?
Yeah. So that's it. You know, it's late. It's school night. Get some rest. I want to thank all of you for being as awesome as you are. I'm so appreciative that I have a logical audience that's capable of critical thinking and empathy. And I just want to thank you guys for the support, because it just means the world to me. When I have all these people against me, it means the world to me that I have you guys there that are able to see these things clearly and appreciate what I do. And it means something to me. It really does. So, and I want you guys to know that. So, I want to stress that while I don't like Taylor and I don't like what she's done, I don't condone anyone attacking her. If you want to say what she did, that's fine. But what I don't want is anyone like, sending her threats or just straight bullying her. Because ultimately, two wrongs don't make a right. I simply just want the lies to stop. That's it. That's it. So, you guys have a good night, and we'll be back to regularly scheduled programming later on.
Push like if you'd like to
Yeah.
another R next week. I think we're gonna try to get back on schedule. Vacation's over. I can't hide, but for so long, Rachel needs to get back on a regular schedule. And so we appreciate you guys joining us, and good night.
Good night.